with a game in my Tier 10 Japanese battleship, the Yamato. We are on Tears of the Desert, Epicenter, everybody's favorite map with favorite game mode. But before we get into the gameplay, I just want to say, if you haven't already, or if you didn't notice, or didn't know, Spyder and myself do post videos on our personal channels. Spyder is doing a series called In a Port, where he shows you the modules and captain skills that he uses on his ships, and gives a short explanation on why he goes that route. Now, on my channel, I just upload on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I just pretty much put the game in there, and there's no commentary. It's pretty much what I use it for is, you know, good games that we just aren't going to use on this channel, and I didn't want them to go to waste. So, for you, Mr. I believe it is War World, the Montana game that I was in is up on my channel, if you did want to check that out. Sorry about getting that sniffle in there, guys. Now, my initial game plan, or my entire game plan, is going to be get with the fleet. Even though there's a carrier in the game, it is a tier 9, it is a US carrier. So really what I initially want to do is get to the islands by G5, kind of park in between there, have it protect me from the planes, and the only thing that I'd have to worry about would be the dive bombers. Sorry about that, guys. Now, as you can see, I'm waiting to see really what this Neptune's going to do. Kind of figured he's going to want to go behind the island. Kind of seeing where he's, you know, if he was slowing down. And just as he disappears, I'm going to take my shots, because my guns still have that accuracy, even though he did disappear. So I might as well shoot and see what I can do. And as you can see, I got 2 citadels. Unfortunately, he's alive, so he's probably going to get most of his health back. See the enemy Moskva, can't take a shot at him because we're both getting behind the islands. Now, the other thing I've been doing is messing with my speed a little bit to throw off their shots for long range, which is why I've never been a fan of long range shooting. See the carrier. Now, I want to get rid of this guy as soon as possible because, you know, my AA is weak. It is one of the weaknesses to the Yamato. Even if you do go with a full AA build, you're probably going to shoot down a little bit more planes than if you don't. But AA is not the strong suit of the Yamato. The carrier, you know, did a little maneuvering, getting into the smoke, I believe, of the Neptune, but I do believe this gentleman is getting a little bit too aggressive. Maybe he should have made a play for the bigger island instead of the shorter one, because, you know, most people do suspect cruisers and stuff to hide behind there, so people will try to position themselves to try to take those guys out. Gonna take a shot at the Yamato. He's bowing. Was trying to aim for his bow, but unfortunately didn't manage to do nice damage. Usually you get those nice citadels through the bow at closer ranges. At least when it's Yamato versus Yamato. But I do believe that enemy carrier is kind of making a smart play. He's getting up close so he can recycle his planes faster and get them more involved in his fight. Unfortunately, like I said, I do believe he just picks the wrong spot to park. It's not very difficult to get something spotted behind that island. The Neptune obviously, put it in full gear, started turning in. I don't exactly make it to the islands I wanted to make it to, but I'm going to use these two islands as my buffer to go bow in and deal with what's ever in front of me. Use the islands to kind of protect my sides. 2 shots, 2 misses on the Neptune. I have a hard time hitting those British cruisers of late, and I just don't know why, especially when they are maneuvering. They are relatively fast and a pain in the butt to hit. Definitely want to take this carrier out because, like I said, it is a weakness of the Yamato. Luckily for me, the Iowa finishes him off. So really, I just wasted my shots, but I don't think of them as waste. It was, if the Iowa didn't get him, I would have been able to easily finish him. See a broadside battleship, and you just got to take those shots on those guys presenting you the broadside, because you are going to get better chances of citadels, as I get one, a nice broadside targets, and you're going to do a lot nicer damage more often than not. Use my rear gun on the Moskva. I'm reversing for these torpedoes. Turning. Do a nice 4K to him. Kind of wish for a citadel. Accidentally run into our Donskoy while reversing. Luckily for me, these torpedoes died out. I do apologize. I don't know whose fault it is. I don't care. Just be the bigger person and apologize. Now, I'm staying bow on because I know there's at least one battleship in front of me. I'm going to take a shot at these guys anyways. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Gonna take a shot anyways, just in case maybe 1 or 2 get through, and I get lucky that they will hit the Citadel. Checking out and seeing what the Montana is doing at 27 kilometers, sitting on the 10 line. The best thing I can say about that guy is, right now he's playing like he failed to the top. I've got an Iowa, Neptune, Yamato, and a Frederick sitting in front of me. The only ship I can see now is the Yamato. But I'm gonna, continue my reverse. I'm gonna start turning because at this point I started thinking, maybe I should start taking care of the guys to my right. Or should I just pull forward and continue dealing with these guys in front of me? I'm still trying to make up my mind, and considering backing up was going to at least potentially maybe take the Frederick out, I just continued with the reverse. Wasn't too scared of the Montana because, well, like I said, that guy's just so far away. Yamato's broadside, gonna take a shot. Get nice 2 citadels for 34,000 damage. Now, one of the reasons we did choose this replay, and as you clearly saw in the title, I don't get a single medal in this game. Surprise, surprise, spoilers were given away. But what I do is when I do seem to hit these ships and targets, I do a lot of damage. I seem to take out most of their health. There's 24,000 to the Iowa that have already hit a citadel on. I've done most of the damage to that poor gentleman, even though he did repair it. And I've always, tried to explain and tell you guys and show you guys, your experience is done by percentage of damage done to ships, as this video will clearly show at the end. Now, I waited to take a shot on the Iowa until he fully ran aground. So, you know, it did confirm that he did run aground and that he would have to start reversing. Now, really need to get rid of this Iowa. I kind of aim mid just in case he decides to start going forward. But luckily for me, the Donskoy finishes him off. Now, the reason I shot at the Iowa was to make sure the gentleman died, because I needed him to die because, you know, I need to angle against the Frederick here and the Montana, even though that guy's so far out of play. I don't... Sorry, guys. I don't know why the curve first... Now, as I was trying to say, I don't know why, not the curve first, I don't know why the Frederick was reversing. But it allowed me to get a very nice penetrating shots on him, just as somebody else did. Now this guy's going full steam. Somebody else finally decides to start shooting at me. And instead of the Frederick driving straight, he decides to turn, so most of those miss. But at this point, I'm not too worried about the Frederick. There's, you know, our Frederick dealing with him. I believe the Donskoy and the Iowa dealing with him. I want to get ready to start dealing with this Montana and Tier 8 Japanese cruiser. I forget the name of it. I'm sorry. The Mogami. And to deal with the Montana Mogami combo that have been whale watching, looking for dolphins, don't know. Take a shot, missed the Montana, but I managed to hit the Mogami. Now, this Montana is not taking a shot at me, which is why I'm still presenting enough of a side for him to actually shoot in. Citadel me, I've got enough health to at least take one or two. Might as well try to get all of my guns into play as I do a nice 17,000 damage to him. But at this point, you know, that guy's going to have to start dealing with either me or the cruiser that is shooting him. I'm not sure which one it is. But I might as well start getting bow in on him and start advancing towards him. As I get a nice Citadel and do 19,000 damage, he was showing me just enough of his side to where my shells could go in and hit him. Now he's still showing me plenty of side. He's not turning away as much as he needs, but he is turning away just enough to where my shells are going to miss. I suspect he's turning to get his rear guns into play against, looks like it was our Mogami that was the one harassing him. Looks like he's turning just enough to get his rear guns into play to deal with our cruiser. Now, as you can see, still staying all broadside to myself and the curve first that is now in front of me. I'm cutting my speed. I'm turning in a little bit. Don't want to run into the curve first. I know this guy's trying to stay angled a little bit to potentially get a lot of his secondaries into play, along with maybe his rear turrets. Now, I do believe the Montana was making the right call. Take out the cruisers. Take out what you can take out. As I get my first kill of the game and another Citadel. Now, unfortunately, it's just chased down the poor Mogami. I'm going to get one opportunity at this guy, but for some reason, I don't just outright delete him. I believe it is the Curfers that finishes him off. And with that, guys, that is going to be the end of the game. So now we're going to look at the post-battle results. 207,000 damage, 3 caps, 1 ship sank, and I am number 1 on a team with base experience of 2,200. Remember, your EXP is done by your percentage of damage done to the ship. The base caps helped. Obviously, made some money, which is always very nice. All of my damage coming from my main batteries. So all 207,000 was just from my main batteries. Just want to say I hope you guys do like the video. We do appreciate all the support you give us. We do love your replays, so please keep sending them in. And please remember to compliment good players and good teamwork. We are quick to report, slow to compliment. Please hit that like and subscribe button and have yourselves a great day.